A boy named Sakuda is just minding his business in the library, probably pretending to study like every other high schooler avoiding life, when he notices something off. A girl, tall, beautiful, and dressed in a sexy seductive bunny costume, is walking between the bookshelves. Her outfit is impossible to ignore, and neither is the fact that Sakuda cannot look away. At first, he figures she must be filming some sort of drama. After all, the girl is none other than Mai Sakurajima, a famous actress and local school legend. But then it hits him, no one else sees her. Not one person flinches, stares, or even glances her way. Sakuda wonders either he has unlocked some weird hallucination setting, or something supernatural is going on. Still, being the kind of guy who has nothing to lose and way too much curiosity, Sakuda says her name out loud. She looks at him, not happy, and just like that, he's pulled into something far weirder than homework and high school drama. Sakuda as Usagawa is a high school student who doesn't have many friends. Most of his classmates avoid him because of a strange incident in the past, an event now known as the hospitalization incident. People believe that Sakuda was responsible for sending 3 students to the hospital, even though the full story is unclear. Because of this rumor, he keeps a low profile and stays out of trouble. One day, something unusual happens. Sakuda spots a girl walking through the library in a bunny girl outfit. She moves around the shelves, but no one else seems to notice her. Surprisingly, Sakuda appears to be the only one who's able to see her. He quickly realizes that the girl is Mai Sakurajima, a well-known actress and also his senior at school. Sakuda calls out her name. Mai stops and looks at him, but instead of being pleased, she appears serious and distant. She asks him not to bring up what he just saw and tells him to stay away from her. Sakuda agrees, but he can't push the memory aside. The strange meeting sticks with him. Her image stays in his mind, and the mystery surrounding her only deepens. When school starts again, he sees her once more. The sight of her makes him even more curious, and he starts to wonder what's really going on. Later, he brings up her name in front of his friend Kunami. Sakuda just wants to learn more about her, but Kunami misunderstands and thinks Sakuda has a crush on her. To him, Mai and Sakuda are from completely different worlds. He thinks there's no chance for someone like Sakuda to ever get close to her. But Sakuda explains that he isn't in love with her. He simply finds it strange that someone so famous is always alone and ignored at school. Hoping to understand her better, Sakuda asks some older students in his club about Mai. He finds out that Mai took a break from acting after finishing junior high. She didn't start at their school from the beginning either, she transferred in later. By the time she joined, everyone had already formed their friend groups. Because of that, she had trouble fitting in. For 2 whole years, she went almost completely unnoticed, like she wasn't even there. This reminds Sakuda of his own situation, and he starts to feel a quiet connection to her. Even though many students live dull, ordinary lives, they still dislike anything that might disturb their routine. Change feels risky, and they prefer to stay the same. After school, Sakuda runs into Mai again, this time at the train station. There, he notices a young boy secretly trying to take pictures of her. Sakuda steps in right away and stops the boy before things get worse. Mai is thankful for his help and shows her appreciation. She brings up something she once saw in the news, a story about Sakuda. It said he was violent and had badly hurt 3 male classmates. However, Mai does not believe that version of the story. She thinks that if Sakuda had really been in the wrong, the school or the police would have punished him. Sakuda agrees with her. He knows the truth but also knows that others still look at him as if he is dangerous. Even now, many of his classmates avoid him. He is used to being ignored and doesn't try to explain himself anymore. Changing how others see him feels like a waste of energy. After their conversation, Sakuda begins to feel something different for Mai. He starts to care and wants to understand her more. Curiosity drives him to ask why she was wearing a bunny outfit in the library. Mai explains that she started acting at a very young age. At just 6 years old, she was chosen to play the lead in a popular morning drama. Her fame quickly grew, and for a while, she felt excited and proud. But over time, that excitement faded. The pressure started to grow heavier. No matter where she went, people would recognize her right away. One day, Mai wished to live in a world where nobody knew her. She didn't expect it to come true, but something strange happened. She went to the aquarium by herself, and not a single person noticed her. Feeling confused but curious, she then visited a cafe. Even the server there did not hear her speak, no matter how clearly she talked. Fear slowly took over, and she hurried back home, shaken by what had just happened. Later, she decides to test what is going on. To be sure that people truly cannot see her, she wears a flashy bunny costume and walks into a public place. Still, no one reacts. No one even looks her way. Sakuda hears her story and starts to think that she might be experiencing something unusual. He suspects that Mai may be affected by something called adolescence syndrome. This strange condition is said to appear only during teenage years, and it can give people strange and unreal abilities. Some people with it have reported powers like reading thoughts or seeing future events. To explain further, Sakuda brings Mai to his house. There, he shows her several scars on his body. He cannot remember how they were caused, but the wounds are clearly real. Mai touches them gently, checking for herself and confirms that they are not fake. Sakuta shares the reason why he strongly believes in adolescence syndrome. His younger sister, Keed, went through something similar. She was left out by her classmates just because she didn't reply to their messages quickly. What seemed like a small mistake turned into something much worse. Her classmates started ignoring her, and soon the bullying became cruel. Keed began getting awful messages, even threats on her phone. These threats made her afraid of other people, especially strangers. Even though no one laid a hand on her, strange injuries began to appear on her skin. Cuts and bruises showed up without any clear cause. It felt like her emotions had turned into real pain. Her condition only started to improve after she stopped using her phone and completely withdrew from school. From that moment on, she stayed inside their apartment with only her cat to keep her company. And when Sakuta found out about what Keed was going through, he felt helpless. Then, mysteriously, adolescence syndrome affected him as well, leading to him suffering 3 cuts to his chest. The pain was so serious that he ended up in the hospital. And because Sakuta himself was the one admitted and treated for serious injuries, the rumors saying he hurt others make no sense. The truth is far more complicated than anyone at school knows. Just when Mai is still taking in Sakuta's story, Keed walks into his room. It's a rare moment, because Keed has not stepped outside or met anyone new in over 2 years. She is very shy and scared of strangers. She quietly greets Mai, then quickly leaves the room without another word. Sakuta explains that Keed's condition is closely linked to the internet. Her symptoms only appear when she is connected to the online world. By staying away from it, she can avoid the pain and strange injuries. Because she rarely watches television or follows the media, she doesn't recognize Mai at all. Sakuta sees that Mai and Keed share something in common. Both suffer in silence, and both have been ignored in different ways. He thinks that the best way to help Mai is to encourage her to return to acting. If she steps back into the spotlight, people will notice her again. He believes that she still loves her work and hopes she will find her place once more. However, Mai does not take his words kindly. She becomes upset. To her, it feels like Sakuta is pretending to understand when he really doesn't. His suggestion comes off as careless and out of touch with her true feelings. After that conversation, Mai stops coming to school. Days go by, and Sakuta hears nothing from her. Feeling uneasy, he looks up her name online. What he finds leaves him shocked and full of regret. There are many hurtful stories and rumors about Mai. Reading them, he realizes that her time in the entertainment world was not full of joy, it was filled with pain and pressure. He feels guilty for pushing her towards something that caused her so much suffering. For the next 2 weeks, Sakuta gets no sign or news of her. Worried about what might be happening, he decides to talk to Rio, a friend of his who leads the science club. Rio knows a lot about strange theories, including ones about how the world works. She brings up an idea from quantum mechanics that says something only exists when it is being observed. This theory might be the key to understanding Mai's strange condition. Rio uses the famous Schrodinger's cat thought experiment to help explain her idea. In this example, a cat is placed in a closed box, and there is a chance that poison will be released inside every hour. Until someone opens the box, no one can say if the cat is alive or dead. Both outcomes remain possible at the same time. This strange theory helps Sakuta see something clearly. If no one notices Mai, maybe it means that she truly has become invisible to others. To test this, Sakuta goes to a local bakery and asks the clerk if they know a girl named Mai. When the clerk says no, it confirms Sakuta's fear. Mai is slowly disappearing from the memories of others. Guessing that Mai might try to visit him, Sakuta rushes home. When he arrives, he finds her already waiting at the door. She has been there for a long time. Mai tells him that fewer and fewer people have been able to see her over the past 2 weeks. She even struggles to buy food because shopkeepers don't notice her. Sakuta gives her some bread that he just bought. He then takes her to a supermarket to learn more about what's happening. There, he notices something strange. People ignore the items Mai picks up. It's like the things she touches no longer exist for anyone else. Sakuta wonders what might happen if he touches her. He reaches out his hand, and Mai guesses that he just wants to hold her hand. Sakuta doesn't deny it. He smiles and stretches out his hand, not wanting to miss the chance to connect with her. Even though they hold hands, people around them still notice Sakuta. He remains visible. On the way back, Sakuta opens up to Mai. He feels sorry for not understanding her earlier. He knows now that she had a hard past. When she was only 13, her mother made her pose in swimsuits for photo shoots. That caused a serious fight between them. It became too much for Mai, and she decided to walk away from show business. Mai is surprised to learn that Sakuta knows about the swimsuit photo incident. That part of her past brings back painful emotions. Every time she remembers it, anger rises inside her. To her, it felt like she was nothing more than a way for her mother to make money. She didn't feel respected or cared for. Even after knowing this, Sakuta continues to believe that Mai should return to acting. He thinks it's something she still loves deep in her heart. But Mai stays quiet and doesn't give a clear answer. Not many people know about the photos, so Mai asks how Sakuta found out. He tells her that he learned it from a reporter named Fumika. Wanting to understand Mai better, He agreed to let Fumika write about his own life and Kied's story. Mai doesn't approve of this. She believes that making a deal like this with a reporter is dangerous. If the story spreads, other journalists might show up at Sakuta's home. That would be terrible for Kied, who is still healing and could be hurt all over again by the attention. To protect Sakuta and Kied, Mai decides to make a big choice. She gives the reporter permission to write about her return to show business instead. This way, Fumika will stop reporting on Sakuta and his sister. Sakuta feels guilty, but Mai doesn't blame him. In fact, she appreciates his efforts. She admits that she really does enjoy acting. Hiding her true thoughts for so long has only made her condition worse. The more she pushes her feelings down, the more invisible she becomes. Mai knows things will get busy once she returns to acting, so she wants to spend some peaceful time with Sakuta first. She invites him to go to Kamakura with her over the weekend. Sakuta is excited and looks forward to their day together. However, when he heads out to meet her, something unexpected happens. He sees a little girl who has lost her way. Wanting to help, he tries to assist her in finding her mother. But before he can explain, a girl named Tomo sees the situation and jumps to the wrong conclusion. She accuses Sakuta of being a pervert. Sakuta explains to Tomo that he was only trying to help the lost child. His calm and honest words somehow help clear up the misunderstanding. Tomo quickly realizes her mistake and feels guilty for accusing him. Wanting to make things right, she asks Sakuta to punish her in the same way she had treated him. However, their strange behavior catches the attention of a police officer passing by. Finding them suspicious, the officer stops them and they are taken to the police station for questioning. Time passes slowly and Sakuta becomes anxious. When he is finally released, he hurries straight to the train station where Mai is waiting. More than an hour has passed since their planned meeting time. Even so, Mai is still standing quietly at the station, waiting for him without showing any frustration. Sakuta arrives and explains what happened. She listens with understanding and forgives him without hesitation. Since the original plan is delayed, Mai decides to take him somewhere else, and as they walk together, she turns the conversation to something more personal. She asks why Sakuta cares so much about her. Sakuta opens up and tells her about a time when he was deeply struggling because of adolescence syndrome. At that time, someone helped him. Her name was Shoko, and she was 2 years older than him. When everything felt dark and hopeless, Shoko gave him comfort and showed him a way forward. Her kindness gave him strength. Later, he enrolled at the same high school where Shoko once studied. But strangely, her name didn't appear anywhere on the student list. She had disappeared without a trace. Mai listens to this story and feels that Sakuta must have strong feelings for Shoko. But Sakuta gently explains that Shoko is someone he used to like, a person who helped him during a hard time, and someone he now sees as part of his past. Their walk brings them to a quiet beach where Sakuta meets Mai's mother for the first time. Mai has brought him there with a purpose. She wants to explain to her mother why she chose a different agent instead of her. She hopes this conversation will help them understand each other better. However, something unexpected happens. Another strange moment caused by adolescence syndrome occurs. Right in front of them, her mother forgets who Mai is. No matter what Sakuta says, or how clearly he explains the situation, Mai's mother does not recognize her own daughter. Sakuta finds this situation unbelievable. It feels too strange to be real. But the truth becomes clear, everyone except Sakuta has now forgotten about Mai. Even with this heavy burden, Sakuta refuses to give up. He takes Mai's hand and tells her that they will keep searching for someone who still remembers. They travel from one town to another, stopping at different train stations. No one recognizes her. When Sakuta tries to talk to his friend Kunimi to arrange some leave from school, he is shocked to learn that Kunimi still remembers Mai. This brings a little hope. Curious and confused, Sakuta quickly calls Rio for help. Rio listens and suggests they go back to school right away. She thinks that the answer to fixing Mai's condition might be found there. Because it's already very late, Sakuta and Mai decide to stay the night at a hotel. In the quiet of the room, Mai brings up the idea of sharing a kiss. Sakuta remains calm and asks if she means something deeper by it. Mai gently explains her feelings. She doesn't want anything more. She simply wants to show her thanks. In her heart, a kiss is the best way to express how grateful she is for everything Sakuta has done, how he stood by her side and never left her, even when the world forgot who she was. Even though Mai does not realize it at first, Sakuta has fallen deeply in love with her. He finally speaks from the heart and promises that he will never forget her, no matter what happens. His words touch her deeply and bring quiet comfort. That night, they lie close to each other, and Sakuta stays awake, quietly watching Mai's peaceful sleeping face. He finds himself unable to sleep, afraid to miss even a moment with her. The next day, Sakuta and Mai return to school, but things continue to change. Rio brings troubling news. Kunimi no longer remembers Mai. This comes as a shock to Sakuta. Hoping it's not true for everyone, he finds Tomo in the hallway and asks if she remembers Mai. She, too, has forgotten. Now, with no one else remembering Mai, Sakuda starts to look like someone who is losing touch with reality. His classmates see him as strange or unstable. Rio tries to explain what is happening. She thinks the power of adolescence syndrome is causing people to slowly forget Mai. She also believes that the memories disappear once people fall asleep, since their awareness shuts down during sleep. Only Rio and Sakuda still remember Mai because they have stayed awake. Determined not to lose his memories of her, Sakuda begins fighting sleep. He takes pills to stay awake and spends his time writing every detail about Mai in his notebook. He tells himself that if he records everything, he can hold on to her. But the effort takes a heavy toll. After 3 days without sleep, he feels drained and weak. Mai sees how much he is suffering. She realizes he is pushing himself too far. Wanting to help, she decides to act. She visits Sakuda at home, pretending it's for exam tutoring. Then, without telling him, she mixes sleeping pills into his coffee. Before he fully drifts into sleep, she says goodbye. In her heart, she has already accepted loneliness. She has spent so long being invisible and forgotten that she tells herself it won't matter if Sakuda forgets her too. Eventually, the sleeping pills take effect, and Sakuda drifts into sleep. When he wakes up, he notices his diary lying on the table. Flipping through the pages, he finds something strange. Mai's name is no longer there. Her presence in his notes has completely vanished. He tries to convince himself that it's just his imagination. Maybe he wrote it wrong, or maybe he dreamed the whole thing. He shrugs it off and chooses not to think too much about it. Soon after, Rio gives Sakuda a letter. She had forgotten about Mai 2 days earlier, but before that, she had written this letter just in case. She hoped that if anything strange happened, it might help him remember something important. In the letter, Rio explains her theory. She believes Mai's disappearance is caused by being ignored by everyone at school. The energy created by this rejection became so strong that it spread beyond the school, affecting even people outside. Over time, this strange power caused the entire world to forget Mai. But Rio leaves a small ray of hope. She writes that if Sakuda's love for Mai is strong enough to rise above the judgment and pressure of others, then the world might remember her again. For now, Sakuda still cannot remember everything clearly. One day, something small sparks his memory. He sees a kanji character that he once studied with Mai before an exam. That simple moment brings everything rushing back. His time with her, her voice, her smile, it all returns. Emotion overwhelms him, and tears run down his face. Feeling the weight of everything, he runs to the schoolyard, determined to do something bold. He stands in front of the entire school and shouts out his feelings for Mai. He wants to walk the beach with her, to see her wear the bunny outfit again, to hold her close and kiss her, never letting go. Sakuda's loud confession reaches every corner of the school. Students stop what they are doing and listen. Slowly, memories of Mai return to them. One by one, people begin to remember who she is. Her presence, once erased, comes back to life. Mai finds herself deeply moved. She is touched by how far Sakuda goes for her, but at the same time, she feels upset. She remembers that he once promised never to forget her, yet he did. Sakuda quickly apologizes with sincerity. Mai doesn't respond right away. Instead, she tells him to wait for 1 month before she gives him an answer. Sakuda, full of emotion, says he cannot wait that long. He promises to confess to her every single day for the next month. Hearing this makes Mai smile. She feels joy fill her heart and takes the chance to tell everyone that Sakuda is not a violent person. With this declaration and Sakuda's love, her adolescence syndrome finally fades away. She is no longer invisible. His words bring her back to the world. Rio watches everything and smiles. She calls Sakuda a rascal. In the past, he never cared much about clearing up the rumors around him. But for Mai's sake, he now stands in front of everyone without fear. For the next 30 days, Sakuda keeps his word. Every single day, he confesses his feelings to Mai. On June 27th, he gives his final confession, and this time, Mai accepts it. Their relationship begins at last, but just when things seem perfect, something strange happens. Sakuda wakes up the next day and finds out it is still June 27th. Time has stopped moving. No matter what he does, the day won't change. Even worse, no one else remembers anything about this day repeating. Only Sakuda knows. Frustrated and confused, he turns to Rio again, hoping she can help him find out what is going on. Although Rio is not affected by the time loop herself, she helps Sakuda look into the problem. After thinking it over, she shares her theory. She believes that Sakuda is stuck on June 27th because someone nearby is afraid of what might happen on June 28th. That fear may have triggered adolescence syndrome again, bending time to avoid moving forward. If Sakuda wants to escape the loop, he needs to find the person who is holding everything back. Sakuda starts paying attention to the people around him. He looks for anything that seems unusual. Over the 3 repeated days, he notices that only one person's behavior changes, Tomo. Her reactions and choices are never the same each time. After confirming that Tomo is also trapped in the loop, Sakuda takes time to explain adolescence syndrome to her. He wants her to understand that something emotional might be causing the day to repeat. While they are talking in the classroom, a boy named Yasuke walks in. Yasuke is the basketball player that was initially pursuing Tomo. Tomo quickly becomes nervous and pulls Sakura to hide with her. She then explains the reason for her fear. Yasuke is the crush of one of her closest friends, but something unexpected has happened. Yasuke has developed feelings for Tomo instead. Tomo feels stuck. If she turns Yasuke down, she worries that her friend group will turn against her. She's afraid of being disliked or judged. In her panic, she speaks louder than she intends to. Yasuke hears her and walks back into the room. Tomo, now terrified, acts without thinking and accidentally shoves Sakura. He falls to the floor at the worst possible moment. The scene looks awkward, and Yasuke misunderstands it. He thinks Tomo and Sakura are secretly dating and walks away, clearly hurt. At that exact moment, Mai enters the classroom. She sees Sakura and Tomo in what appears to be a close and private moment. Without waiting for an explanation, she turns and walks away. Sakura tries to go after her, but she refuses to speak to him. Sakura wakes up expecting the day to be June 27th again. He thinks Mai will forget everything that happened before, and they will still be stuck in the same loop. But to his surprise, the time loop ends. The day moves forward, and it is finally June 28th. This change brings a new problem. Because Sakura never got the chance to confess to Mai again before the loop ended, they are no longer a couple. Their relationship has not moved forward. He quickly realizes that the time loop was not caused by him or Mai, it was connected to Tomo. Yasuke, who misunderstood what he saw, never confessed his feelings to Tomo. That misunderstanding calmed Tomo's fear, which caused the loop to break. But Sakura knows that if Yasuke learns the truth about what really happened, Tomo's fear might return, and the loop could start all over again. To stop that from happening, Sakura must convince everyone that he and Tomo are in a real relationship. The idea troubles him deeply. He doesn't want to lie, and his heart still belongs to Mai. Despite this, Tomo develops feelings for him. She even takes a job at the same restaurant where Sakura works. Her friends begin to believe the two of them are actually dating. Since Sakura once confessed to Mai in front of the entire school, they now accuse him of cheating on Tomo. The rumors start to grow. After finishing her shift, Tomo asks Sakura for a favor. She wants him to pretend to be her boyfriend, at least for a little while. She explains her reasons honestly. Tomo is a first-year student who moved from another city before starting high school. She fears being alone. After school began, she worked very hard to make friends. She finally became close with 3 classmates and doesn't want to lose that connection. Being rejected by Yasuke or judged by her friends would make her feel isolated all over again. Because of Tomo's struggle with adolescence syndrome, Sakura sees no other option and agrees to pretend to be her boyfriend. He feels conflicted, especially about how to explain everything to Mai. Then, unexpectedly, Mai shows up at his home. He tells her everything. He explains that Tomo is going through something similar to what Kid once experienced. Her fear of being left behind has triggered adolescence syndrome, and not wanting Tomo to suffer like his sister did, Sakura has agreed to help her by pretending to be her boyfriend. Mai listens closely and understands his reason. Her trust in him doesn't vanish completely, but she still feels hurt. She gives him permission to continue the fake relationship if it helps Tomo. However, she doesn't forgive him right away. She wants him to show that he really cares, not just with words, but with his actions too. Sakura wants to spend more time with Mai to make things right, but her schedule is full. She is busy with filming and cannot be around often. Before leaving, she gives Kid a thoughtful gift, a new set of clothes. Her hope is that Kid might gain confidence and feel ready to go outside someday. Kid looks happy when she sees the gift. A quiet connection starts to form between her and Mai. Their bond begins to grow, and it brings comfort to both of them in different ways. Later, Sakura meets Kunimi and talks to him about Yasuke. They want to understand what kind of person he really is. Yasuke seems popular, and many students admire him because of his basketball skills. But behind his friendly smile, he often talks badly about his girlfriend. He complains that she won't be physically close with him and blames her for problems in their relationship. This changes the way Sakura sees everything. He realizes that Yasuke does not treat people with real care. A person like that is not someone Tomo should be close to. This thought helps Sakura feel more comfortable staying in the fake relationship. For now, he knows he is doing it to protect someone who needs support. To keep their fake relationship believable, Tomo says they need proof. So, they go out together on a pretend date. At school, they continue the act. They talk and joke like a couple, making sure everyone sees them together. Things take a turn when Yasuke starts spreading lies. He tells other students that Sakura and Tomo are doing more than just dating. The rumor grows fast. Soon, whispers follow them in the hallways. Tomo hears the talk and feels ashamed and hurt. Sakura becomes angry. He knows Yasuke is doing it out of jealousy. At the train station, Sakura runs into Yasuke. Their conversation turns into a fight. Sakura cannot stay quiet anymore. He tells Yosuke exactly how he feels. In his eyes, Yosuke is acting out of spite and weakness. Later, Sakura decides to speak up in front of everyone. He tells the truth with no hesitation. He says clearly that he has never been in any close relationship and that the rumors come from Yasuke's jealousy. His honest words and calm voice begin to change how people see the situation. One of the friends of Tomo listens carefully. She starts to see who Yasuke really is. After that, she steps away from him, realizing he is not someone she should trust. The truth spreads, and people stop judging Tomo unfairly. Over time, Tomo begins to see Sakura in a new light. Being with him makes her feel safe. She starts to feel something more, but she also knows what Sakura truly feels. His heart is with Mai. Tomo understands that, so she chooses to stay by his side, not as a girlfriend, but as a friend. 1 week later, Mai finishes her filming schedule and comes to visit Sakura. She knows he doesn't enjoy studying, so she decides to surprise him. To cheer him up, she wears the same bunny girl outfit that first brought them together. It's her way of making him smile again. Sakura feels happy to see her, and his heart fills with warmth. But things are still complicated. He is still pretending to be in a relationship with Tomo, and that keeps a wall between him and Mai. Even though she loves him, Mai chooses to keep her distance. She holds back, waiting until he sorts out everything. When summer break begins on July 18th, Sakura and Tomo go to the beach together. They both know it is their last outing as a fake couple. Tomo enjoys the day with everything she has. She smiles, laughs, and creates happy memories. Before leaving, she says goodbye and tells Sakura to go after Mai, wishing him a future full of love. The next morning, something feels wrong. Sakura wakes up and sees the same date, July 18th. Everything is exactly the same as the day before. The beach trip repeats itself. He finds himself stuck in a time loop again. Feeling confused, Sakura asks Tomo if anything is bothering her. Tomo stays calm and says nothing is wrong, but Sakura is not convinced. After going through July 18th 3 times, Sakura begins to understand. The loop might not be random. He starts to believe that it is Tomo's hidden feelings for him causing the loop to repeat. Her emotions are stronger than she admits, and her heart may be holding on to something that she has not said out loud. That strong emotion could be what keeps pulling them back to the same day. This time, Sakura decides to stop the act. He speaks honestly and tells Tomo that his heart already belongs to Mai. His feelings will not change, no matter how many times the same day repeats. He also tells her something important: if she truly wanted him to be with Mai, then the time loop would not exist. The repeating day only shows that part of her still wants to hold on. Tomo hears his words and finally reaches her limit. She can no longer hide her emotions. Tears fall as she admits what she's been trying to ignore. She has fallen in love with Sakura. Even though it hurts, she does not want to trap him in her feelings. To set things right, Tomo lets go. The time loop ends, and everything returns to June 27th. It is a second chance, and Sakura doesn't waste it. He confesses his feelings to Mai. She acts cold at first, refusing to say what's in her heart. But her actions speak louder than words. She leans in and kisses him on the cheek. From that moment, the two of them become a real couple. Things slowly return to normal. The fake relationship with Tomo comes to an end. She loses her old friend group, but instead of staying sad, she moves forward. She meets new people and starts fresh with a new view on life. Later, Sakura is out on a date with Mai. During their walk, he notices a young girl on the street. She is trying to help a small kitten that has been left behind. When he hears her name, he freezes for a moment. It is the same name as the girl he once loved. The memories begin to return. She is Shoko, the same person who once helped Sakura during one of the darkest times in his life. But something doesn't feel right. She now looks much younger, like a middle schooler, and she shows no signs of remembering him at all. Shoko has found a stray kitten, but her family doesn't allow pets at home. With no other choice, she asks Sakura to take care of the cat. He agrees, though in the back of his mind, something continues to bother him. The situation feels strange. Sakura begins to wonder if this younger version of Shoko might also be affected by adolescence syndrome. But there are no clear signs. With no proof, he chooses to push the thought aside for now. 2 weeks later, Mai stops by the restaurant where Sakura works. Her filming has kept her away, and she feels a little guilty for not being around. To make it up to him, she plans to take him out on a proper date after his shift ends. While waiting, Mai spots Rio nearby. Something feels off. Her movements and expression don't match the Rio she knows. Sakura becomes curious and quietly follows her to an internet cafe. There, he decides to call her phone. And when the phone rings, the girl in front of him doesn't react. But someone else picks up on the other end of the line, and that voice belongs to Rio too. This moment reveals the truth. Rio is suffering from adolescence syndrome. Her deep fear of being misunderstood and judged by others has caused a strange split. 2 versions of her now exist. One hides in the cafe, avoiding people. The other keeps going to school, trying to live a quiet and unnoticed life. Feeling sympathy for Ryo, Sakuda talks to Mai and suggests that they let Ryo stay at his place for a while. He hopes the space will help her feel safe and calm. Mai does not like the idea of Sakuda living with another girl, even if it's for a good reason. Still, she agrees, but only if she stays there too. That night, just before they go to sleep, Mai visits Sakuda's room. She reminds him that they won't be able to go on their date the next day because he has to meet the other version of Ryo. Sakuda feels bad about it and wants to make it up to her. In a sweet but awkward moment, he leans in for a kiss. Their timing is off, and he accidentally bumps into her nose. Mai doesn't get angry. She stays calm and smiles at him. Their kiss doesn't work out, but she tells him they can keep practicing. She wants the moment to be right one day. The next day, Sakuda heads to school to observe the second version of Ryo. This Ryo looks calm and spends most of her time watching Kunimi play basketball. She seems interested in him, so Sakuda becomes curious. He asks her why she likes Kunimi. She opens up and tells him about something that happened in the past. One day, she went to a store but gave up on buying anything because the crowd was too much. The line was long, and she felt overwhelmed. Just then, Kunimi appeared and offered her a loaf of bread. He was kind and gentle. That simple act stayed in her heart. From that moment, she began to like him without even realizing it. Sakuda listens and begins to understand. Both versions of Ryo are real. Each one is dealing with different emotions and fears. But even now, he does not know how to bring them back together. Just before he leaves school, Kunimi's girlfriend approaches him. She shares something surprising. Ryo has been posting revealing photos online. Sakuda doesn't know what to think at first. Feeling concerned, he returns home to talk to Ryo about what he has heard. At home, Ryo tells Sakuda everything. She explains that she posted the revealing photos because she wanted someone to notice her. Her body looks more mature than most girls her age, and boys often stare at her in a way that makes her feel uncomfortable. Instead of feeling proud or beautiful, she feels ashamed. The attention does not make her feel seen, it makes her feel judged. These feelings grow stronger with time. Inside her heart, two voices begin to pull in different directions. One part of her wants to be confident, to dress up and stand out. That part becomes Futaba. The other part wants to stay quiet and disappear. That side remains the original Ryo. Sakuda sits with both versions. He listens carefully and begins to see how much pain both sides carry. Each one believes they are right. Futaba wants to feel strong and noticed. Ryo wants to feel safe and hidden. Both are parts of the same person, but they cannot agree. Sakuda tries his best to help them understand each other, but they argue, they push back. Neither side wants to change. The more they speak, the more distant they feel from one another. Then, everything takes a sudden turn. Futaba receives a message online from someone she doesn't know. The words in the message are uncomfortable. They make her feel afraid. The idea that someone out there might recognize her in real life becomes too much. Out of fear, Futaba makes a decision. She deletes the account where she posted the pictures. The need to be noticed fades under the pressure of being seen by the wrong person. For now, safety matters more than attention. Futaba feels completely alone. Her parents are not around, and the fear inside her starts to grow. The message from the stranger shakes her deeply. She doesn't want to be alone, so she asks Sakuda to stay with her. Having him nearby helps her calm down. Kunimi's presence also brings comfort, even though he doesn't know everything. Still, deep in her heart, she starts to feel left behind. She watches Kunimi grow closer to his girlfriend and sees Sakuda and Mai becoming a couple. It makes her wonder if she will be forgotten too. Sakuda notices this. To show her that their friendship still matters, he decides to do something meaningful. He contacts Kunimi and invites him to meet, but he uses Futaba's name instead of his own. Futaba is shocked when Kunimi shows up without hesitation. This simple act touches her deeply. That evening, they go to the beach together. They light fireworks, share snacks, and enjoy the peaceful sounds of the waves. It feels like a moment that belongs only to them. Before they part, they promise to go together to the upcoming fireworks festival. Sakuda stays awake through the night, thinking about everything. The feelings of Ryo and Futaba, the pain they carry, and the small happiness they both reach. The next morning, he returns home and speaks to the original Ryo. He tells her that Futaba deleted the account. Then, he shows her the photos from the beach. Ryo looks at the pictures quietly. A strange feeling rises in her chest. She sees Futaba laughing with Kunimi and realizes how strong and open she seems. In that moment, Ryo starts to think that Futaba deserves to stay, and that maybe she herself should disappear. Sakuda shakes his head and disagrees. He reminds her that Futaba and Ryo are not two separate people. They are both parts of the same heart. The pain, the courage, the fears, and the joy, they all belong to one girl. He tells her not to forget the fireworks festival next week. That promise is still important. But Sakuda has pushed himself too far. He hasn't slept in days and the stress finally takes over. His body becomes weak and he collapses on the floor, unable to move. After waking up, Sakuta talks to Ryo. He tells her something simple but meaningful. Everyone, at some point, feels unhappy with themselves. That feeling is not strange, and it doesn't mean a person is weak or broken. It is part of being human. These words reach Ryo in a way nothing else has. She sits with the thought for a while, and something inside her begins to shift. She no longer wants to run from her emotions. Instead, she wants to face them. She decides that she wants to attend the fireworks festival after all. She tells Futaba about her choice. The moment Ryo accepts her feelings without shame, something amazing happens. The divide inside her heart begins to fade. The two versions of her, Futaba, who wants to be seen, and Ryo, who wants to hide, come back together. They are no longer two people. They become one again. On the day of the festival, Ryo walks forward with quiet strength. The sky is wide and glowing, and the sounds of summer are all around her. She gathers her courage and speaks to Kunami. Her heart holds no expectations. She already knows that he may not feel the same way. Still, she wants to say what is in her heart. For her, it is enough to be honest. That small act becomes her first step toward becoming whole again. Weeks go by, and Sakuta starts feeling down. The time apart from Mai starts to wear him down. He misses her presence, her voice, and the small moments they used to share. The space between them feels heavy. Mai tries to comfort him by saying things will get better once school starts again. She promises that they'll be able to see each other more. The new term begins, and Sakuta walks to school with hope. He looks around, expecting to see Mai waiting somewhere, but she is nowhere to be found. His worry grows stronger with each passing hour. He finally decides to go to her apartment. There, he finds Mai standing outside. But something feels strange right away. The way she looks at him feels cold, distant. She acts like she doesn't know him. Then, to his shock, she accuses him of being a creepy guy who won't leave her sister alone. Before Sakuta can say anything else, a blonde girl appears and speaks up. She explains the strange truth: she is the real Mai. The girl in Mai's body is actually Nodoka, her younger sister. Because of adolescent syndrome, their bodies have switched for no clear reason. The three of them go inside the apartment to talk. Nodoka starts to panic. The situation feels too strange for her to handle. She wants to run away from it. Mai stays calm, even with the confusion around her. She tells Nodoka to stop complaining and face what's happening. Sakuta listens to their story and starts to understand everything. Nodoka is not just a regular high school girl. She is also an idol, just like Mai. Mai explains how Nodoka came to visit, feeling upset and tired. She didn't want to go back home. The next morning, they woke up and found themselves trapped in each other's bodies. Neither of them understands the reason behind it. They only know that something unusual is happening again. Even though Nodoka starts to panic, both Mai and Sakuta remain calm. Mai takes the lead and suggests a simple plan. Until they understand how to fix the body swap, Nodoka should continue living as Mai, and Mai will act as Nodoka. It may not be easy, but it gives them a way to keep moving forward. They sit down and go over each other's schedules. Mai explains her filming and school activities, and Nodoka shares her idol work. They practice how to speak, how to walk, and how to act naturally in their switched roles. Every small detail matters. Sakuta is given an important job too. His role is to stay close to Nodoka and help her act like Mai in public. He must make sure no one at school or on set notices anything strange. The next morning starts in a very unusual way. Sakuta wakes up and finds a cat's hairball in his mouth. It's not the best way to begin the day. Moments later, Keed bursts into the room. She laughs and jokes, saying she wishes she could be that close to him instead. Her energy adds a bit of humor to the strange morning. On the way to school, Nodoka starts to feel nervous. The fear that someone might notice something wrong begins to build. She worries that Mai's classmates might figure out she's not the real Mai. Sakuta walks beside her with his usual calm face. He tells her not to stress too much. In his usual blunt way, he says Mai doesn't really have any friends at school, so there's no one to fool. Later, Nodoka shares that moment with Mai. They both laugh at how true it is. Neither of them has a big group of friends. That small detail makes it much easier to keep pretending. In a quiet moment, Mai opens up to Sakuta. She speaks with a serious tone, sharing something that has been on her mind. She feels that all the strange things happening might be her fault. Her thoughts go back to the beginning of her career. She was pushed into fame by her mother, not because of her own dreams, but because her mother wanted to outshine her ex-husband and his new family. Nodoka's story follows the same path. Her mother also placed her into the idol world, not to support her happiness, but to compete with Mai. Both girls were pulled into a silent fight between adults. Instead of being treated like daughters, they were treated like tools. Later, Sakuta starts thinking about Nodoka's life more carefully. He worries that she might not be ready for the pressures of being an idol. Things like riding crowded trains, going to events, and being watched all the time might be too much. But Nodoka proves otherwise. She stays calm and explains that she's already used to those things. Her life has never been soft or easy. She handles it without needing help. Nodoka continues to follow Mai's instructions carefully. She works hard to copy her sister's way of speaking and moving. Her effort shows. Sakuta watches her and finds himself surprised. Her performance is so convincing that, for a brief moment, it feels like she really is Mai. Later, Sakuta meets with Ryo to make sense of everything. They talk about the recent events, especially the body swap. Ryo shares a theory she has been thinking about. She believes that adolescent syndrome comes from emotional instability. Strong feelings that are left unresolved can affect the real world. Sakuta listens and agrees. He tells Ryo that the biggest struggle of Nodoka is her deep sense of inferiority. She doesn't feel like she can ever reach Mai's level. That feeling follows her everywhere. He admits that he has no idea how to fix it. Afterward, Sakuta and Nodoka spend time at the beach to take a break from the stress. Sakuta watches her for a moment and can't help thinking some strange thoughts, confused by how he ended up involved with both sisters. Nodoka notices his expression and wonders how someone like him could ever win Mai's heart. Their peaceful moment quickly turns tense. Sakuta starts pushing Nodoka to be more honest. He calls her out for running away from home, refusing to deal with her feelings, and blaming everything on her situation. Nodoka tries to defend herself, but Sakuta cuts her off. He tells her that Mai already knows how she truly feels. Nodoka finds it difficult to talk to Mai, but she finally gathers her courage and opens up. She tells Mai that she hates her, not because of who Mai is, but because she has always been compared to her. Every time Nodoka achieves something, it feels like it's never enough. Her mother always points to Mai as the one to beat. Nodoka also admits something else. During Mai's break from the spotlight, Nodoka's own career began to grow. She finally felt she had a chance. But now that Mai is back, Nodoka is frustrated. Mai returns and immediately succeeds, while Nodoka still struggles for roles and attention. Mai listens quietly, then shares her own feelings. She says she also resents Nodoka, but not for being her sister. Her frustration comes from their father. He made mistakes, had children with different women, and never took responsibility. Their family was built on comparison and silent competition. After everything settles down a bit, Mai begins staying over at Sakuta's place. Keed watches all of this unfold with suspicion, wondering how her clueless brother keeps ending up surrounded by girls. Sakuta takes a long bath one evening. When he returns, Mai casually asks what took him so long. He tells her that he was thinking about her while bathing and this makes her uncomfortable, but she tries to ignore it. Then, she notices the scar on his chest. Sakuta, being his usual odd self, asks her to touch it, hoping to feel something. But Mai quickly refuses. She doesn't want to do anything inappropriate, especially not when stuck in her sister's body. For weeks, Mai and Nodoka continue living each other's lives. They handle schedules, interviews, and stage performances, doing their best to keep things looking normal. Both sisters work hard, trying to respect each other's paths. The next day, Nodoka starts preparing for a photo shoot. Dressed as Mai, she takes practice selfies, trying her best to look confident. Later, Mai visits Sakuta and vents about their mother. She calls out how controlling and overbearing the mom of Nodoka has become. Sakuta shares how Nodoka has been doing lately, but Mai says she doesn't need updates. She believes Nodoka is strong enough to handle it all. Days pass, and Sakuta walks past a film set. There, he sees Nodoka performing in Mai's role. She gives it her all, trying to act with everything she has. But the pressure gets to her. Panic begins to build inside her, and she collapses on set from the stress. Sakuta watches the entire scene unfold, unable to stop it. Later, he goes to Mai and explains what happened. He tells her that Nodoka struggled to handle the pressure and couldn't match Mai's ability. It wasn't about effort, it was about how overwhelming the expectations had become. At school, Kunimi notices that Sakuta seems down. Sakuta asks what it's like to have an older sibling who always outshines you. Kunimi doesn't have an answer, so he calls his girlfriend, Kamisato, who does have an older sister. Sakuta asks her the same thing. She doesn't hold back. She says that having a brilliant older sister and constantly being compared feels like being stuck in a miserable situation where there's no escape and definitely no comfort. It hurts all the time, even if you pretend it doesn't. Later, seeing that the health and emotions of her younger sister might be at risk, Mai grows more concerned. She wants to be sure her sister is not alone, and to help, she hands Sakuta the keys to her apartment and asks him to visit Nodoka and make sure she's doing well. Before he leaves, she gives him one warning: he must never open the traditional Japanese-style cabinets inside her apartment. Sakuta does his best to lift the spirit of Nodoka. He speaks with kindness and tells her something she needs to hear. Mai believes in her. Mai trusts that Nodoka has real talent and is confident that she can impress the director with her effort. Nodoka doesn't expect these words. The thought that her older sister has that much faith in her brings a warm feeling to her chest. For the first time in a long while, she feels seen. Filming starts again, and Nodoka throws herself into the work. She focuses completely and gives it everything she has. The director notices. He praises her determination and strength. For a moment, she feels proud, but the road ahead is not easy. With each scene, she begins to feel the gap between herself and Mai. The difference becomes clear. Mai's level feels far away, like a goal she can't reach yet. Even with those thoughts, Nodoka refuses to stop. Her love for the stage and for performing keeps her moving forward. She tells herself that even if she is not perfect now, she will grow. She still wants to become a true idol, not just someone living in her sister's shadow. During the same time, Mai takes on one of Nodoka's jobs and performs at a concert. Her presence on stage is powerful. The audience is amazed by her voice and energy. Her performance stands out so much that she is chosen to sing the theme song solo. Nodoka's mother watches the concert and thinks it is her daughter performing. She finally smiles and says she is proud, unaware that it was actually Mai on the stage. Nodoka watches from the side. She sees the applause, the lights, and her mother's reaction. All of it goes to Mai. Even though the praise is meant for her, she knows the truth. She did not earn it. That thought sinks deep into her heart. The sadness grows stronger. Seeing her sister shine so naturally makes her feel invisible. No matter how hard she tries, she still feels like the one in the background. The constant pressure to live up to someone else's image begins to crush her. In that moment, she starts to believe that she has no real value and that maybe no one will ever truly notice her for who she is. In a moment of despair, Nodoka considers ending her own life. But Sakuta steps in just in time. He reaches out to her, not with blame but with care. He reminds her that if she were gone, Mai would be heartbroken beyond repair. To help Nodoka understand how much she means, Sakuta brings her to Mai's apartment. He opens a small box and shows her what's inside. Dozens of letters sit neatly stacked. Each one was written by Nodoka during their younger years. Every page holds her words, her thoughts, and her feelings. Nodoka stares at them in silence. These letters are not thrown away or forgotten. They are carefully kept, like treasures. In that moment, something changes inside her. She realizes that Mai has never disliked her. Those letters have always been a part of Mai's life, even through the hardest days. Soon, Mai returns home. Her voice is soft. She begins to speak about her early years in show business. The stress, the fear, and the pressure were more than she could handle. There were days she wanted to give up, but every time she received a letter from Nodoka, her strength came back. The words gave her hope and helped her keep moving. She thanks Nodoka, not just politely, but with true emotion. Even after hearing these words, Nodoka still feels pain. The kindness helps, but it doesn't erase the feelings completely. She watches Mai receive praise and attention again and again. Mai sings the theme song. The crowd claps. Their mothers smile and praise her, believing she is perfect. Nodoka stands in the shadow of that spotlight, wondering if she will ever feel the same pride for herself. In a burst of frustration, Mai tells Nodoka she is acting too childish. The anger builds up inside her, but because their faces are still switched, she cannot express it properly. Her emotions come out in the wrong direction, and Sakuta ends up taking the hit instead. The moment doesn't last long. Mai's anger fades quickly, and she speaks to Nodoka with gentle honesty. She reminds her that being seen and valued takes time. Recognition does not come overnight. If Nodoka keeps putting in effort, then one day, even their mother will see her for who she really is. Nodoka feels heavy emotions swirling inside her. It's hard to take it all in, but slowly, she starts to accept the truth. She and Mai are not the same. That's not a weakness. That difference doesn't mean she is less. It simply means she has her own path. A quiet decision forms in her heart. From now on, she will live in her own way. No more chasing Mai's shadow. No more measuring her worth through someone else's success. With that, the body swap finally ends. Nodoka and Mai return to their own bodies. The tension fades, and for the first time in days, Sakuta feels true relief. He finally gets to see Mai again, not just her voice, but her smile, her expression, her presence. Later, Nodoka chooses to move into Mai's apartment. Living together brings a new kind of closeness. They are no longer rivals. They begin to grow as sisters, real sisters who understand each other beyond surface smiles. But peace doesn't last long. A new problem rises. Someone secretly snaps a photo of Mai and Sakuta together. The image starts spreading, and soon, the whispers and rumors begin to grow. To deal with the rumors, Mai talks with her agent and makes a bold decision. She chooses to speak about everything in public. At a film launch event, she stands in front of the crowd and calmly shares the truth. She admits that she is in a relationship with Sakuta. She also says that her return to acting would not have happened without his support. Even though Sakuta is not part of the entertainment world, Mai asks everyone to respect his privacy. She doesn't want him dragged into the spotlight just because of her. Her words are clear and sincere. Sakuta listens from the side, completely overwhelmed. The way Mai speaks about him, with honesty and care, fills his heart with joy. In that moment, he feels like the happiest person in the world. But happiness does not last forever. One day, a letter arrives for Sakuta. The name on the envelope sends a shock through him. It isn't from the younger Shoko he recently met, it's from the older Shoko, the one who helped him during the darkest days of his life. Confused and unsure of what to do, Sakuta turns to Ryo. He hopes she might give him advice, but Rio doesn't want to be involved in anything related to love. Instead, she skips him completely and tells everything to Mai. When Mai hears the name, her heart sinks. A sharp wave of jealousy runs through her, even though she doesn't want to feel that way. Still, she understands what Shoko once meant to Sakuta. That girl gave him light when he was surrounded by darkness. Mai takes a deep breath and chooses not to stop him. She tells Sakuta to go and meet Shoko but asks that he return soon. On the outside, she stays calm. Deep down, her heart worries. She hopes the meeting gives him peace, but she fears it might also reopen old wounds. Strangely, Shoko never arrives at the meeting place. Sakuta waits in silence, watching people come and go, unsure of what it all means. Time passes slowly, and confusion settles in. In the end, he writes a short message and leaves it behind. The words are simple but clear. He already has someone special in his life. With that quiet goodbye, he walks away, choosing to hold on to the present rather than return to the past. Life then begins to shift toward Kid. For a long time, she has lived inside the safety of their home. Her world stays small and quiet because of the effects of adolescence syndrome. Each day feels the same. The outside world becomes something she fears. But through it all, Sakuta and Mai stay by her side, never forcing her but always ready to support her. Their kindness gives Kid the strength to try. One day, she puts on the clothes Mai gave her. She chooses to step outside, just once, with Sakuta walking beside her. The moment she crosses the threshold, her body starts to tremble, and tears roll down her cheeks. The world outside feels too big, too loud, too new. But she doesn't let go of Sakuta's hand. She keeps walking. Later that weekend, Sakuta and Mai take both Kid and Nodoka to the beach. The sun shines gently, and the sound of the waves fills the air. The moment feels peaceful and light. For Kid, it becomes a rare and special memory. During their time at the beach, a girl named Katomi approaches. She greets them with familiarity and says she is an old friend of Kid's. But something feels wrong. Kid doesn't recognize her at all. She stands quietly, unsure of what to say. Sakuta finally opens up to Mai and Nodoka. He tells them everything about what happened to Kid 2 years ago, when she first began to suffer from adolescence syndrome. Back then, Kid became the target of cruel bullying. Her classmates turned against her without warning. The pain grew deeper with each passing day. She tried to keep going, but her heart couldn't carry the weight anymore. Her mind broke away from everything she once knew. That was when a new version of Kid appeared. Her memories from the past vanished completely. She no longer remembered her own family. Not even Sakuta felt familiar to her. Her voice changed. Her habits changed. It was as if a different person had taken her place. Their mother could not handle the shock and broke down emotionally. The house, once filled with small moments of family life, became silent and broken. No one could explain what was happening. The doctors didn't believe it. People around them acted like nothing was wrong. Sakuta began to suffer too. His emotional pain started to affect his body. His chest burned, and he could hardly breathe. The strange marks on his skin appeared again. He was taken to the hospital. There, things only got worse. He told people about Kid, about the syndrome, about the scars, but no one believed him. They treated him like he was confused or lying. Every word he spoke felt useless. The pressure became too much. One night, he left the hospital on his own. His body was weak. His heart felt heavier than ever. That was when Shoko appeared. She didn't doubt him. She didn't question his pain. She simply listened. Her words were soft and accepting. She told him it was okay to be misunderstood. People see the world differently, and sometimes that leads to pain. But that doesn't make someone wrong. Her kindness helped Sakuta breathe again. Her presence gave him the strength to stand. With her quiet support, he made it through the darkest time in his life. After he was released, everything started to make more sense. He began to see Kid's pain clearly. Even if she never got her old memories back, he decided that her happiness in the present was what mattered most. Later, their father left with their mother. From that point on, Sakuta took full responsibility. He became her guardian. He cooked, helped her with daily routines, and provided anything she needed. The role wasn't easy. The weight of the past never truly went away. But he stayed by her side, not because he had to, because he chose to. Because no one else would. After sharing the story of Kid with Mai, Sakuta feels guilty. Because Kid and Mai have grown close, he had hidden some painful details. Mai listens and understands. She respects the choices Sakuta made to protect his sister. Later on, Katomi reaches out to Sakuta with a quiet request. She asks him to give a book to Kid. Years ago, Katomi lived in the apartment upstairs, and during that time, she and Kid became close friends. Inside the book, Katomi leaves a small note. Her message is short but full of care. In her note, she has said to Kid that she still wants to be her friend. Kid opens the book and sees the word friend. The moment is too strong. Her body reacts before her mind can catch up. She suddenly collapses, fainting without warning. Sakuta rushes her to the hospital. The doctors later explain that this might not be a random event. It could be a sign that Kid's lost memories are starting to return. The emotional shock might have triggered something inside her mind. Sakuta sits by her side, feeling powerless. He He cannot change what's happening, and he cannot take her pain away. All he can do is support her and keep every promise. When Keed wakes up, she shares something quietly. She wants to return to school. Sakura reaches out to the school counselor for advice. The counselor speaks with warmth and understanding. Everyone has their own rhythm. There is no need for Keed to walk into a classroom right away. Simply standing on school grounds is already something brave. Keed begins to prepare for her visit, holding on to hope. She feels ready, at least a little. But just before they reach the school, the symptoms of adolescent syndrome return. Her body weakens, and she can't go any farther. Sakura sees this and makes a promise. He will help her get to school, but not at the cost of her health. Sakura believes that Keed already senses what's coming. Deep down, she likely knows that her old memories are close to returning, and her wish to go to school is a sign of that awareness. Hoping to take her mind off the pressure, Sakura takes her to the zoo. Keed has always loved animals. Her eyes light up the moment they arrive. Wanting to make her smile last longer, Sakura gives her a yearly zoo pass. They spend the day wandering through exhibits, surrounded by the comfort of something she loves. Later that night, Sakura brings Keed to school. The grounds are quiet and still. Guided by his hand, she walks through the halls, seeing everything she had dreamed of. They visit each spot on her wish list, peacefully, slowly, just the way she wanted. The next day, Sakura wakes Keed up, only to find that her speech and mannerisms have changed. She's regained her old memories again, but in doing so, the memories from the past 2 years disappear. The Keed who lived with Sakura, shared small moments, and made plans, has vanished. Sakura feels crushed. 2 years of laughter, dreams, and gentle companionship are gone in an instant. The pain becomes too much to carry, and symptoms of adolescent syndrome begin to appear in his own body. Out of nowhere, Shoko appears once again. She quietly brings Sakura home, offering support. She has read the diary of Keed and knows how much Keed loved Sakura. Sakura was her reason to change. He gave her courage. She wanted to be strong, not for herself, but because she didn't want to cause him pain. Being seen as his little sister made her feel happy and safe. Shoko stays by Sakura's side. Her words are gentle, and her presence is soft, like a quiet light in a dark room. Little by little, Sakura starts to feel steady again. The pressure inside his chest loosens, and he begins to stand up from the sadness. But the peace is short-lived. After helping him through his worst moment, Shoko disappears again. No goodbye, no explanation. Her absence leaves behind a quiet emptiness, and the mystery of her still lingers. Later, Mai visits. She has made time in her busy filming schedule to come check on Sakura. When she arrives at his house, she finds something unexpected, a note left by Shoko. Reading the message makes her stop. A long silence fills the room. Mai feels sadness, not because she doubts Sakura, but because she believes she failed him. She is his girlfriend. She should have been the one to support him. Instead, someone else stood by his side during his weakest moment. The thought makes her heart heavy with guilt. To clear her mind, Mai decides to take a step back. She needs time to understand her feelings. She doesn't yell or blame anyone. Her choice comes from emotion, not anger. Sakura sees her pull away and misunderstands. He believes Mai is upset about Shoko. He wants to explain what really happened, but the words stay stuck inside him. Nodoka quickly learns about the visit of Mai and becomes furious with Sakura. She reminds him that today is Mai's birthday. Even with a packed filming schedule, Mai still found time to visit him. She wasn't upset about Shoko. Her heart simply broke because she couldn't be the one to support him when he needed someone most. The truth hits Sakura hard. Determined to fix things, Sakura gets serious again. He grabs his things and rushes to the location where Mai is filming. A quick train ride and a long sprint later, he reaches the set. His goal is clear now, he just wants to be with her. Mai sees him and doesn't hold back her surprise. The two of them finally share a small window of time. He wishes her a happy birthday. They have only 15 minutes for their date, so they stand quietly over a city point, looking out at the view of the city. Sakura gives her his jacket, not because she asks, but because it feels right. He opens his heart and says what he should have said earlier. He apologizes for not showing enough appreciation. Mai also looks back on everything and realizes she should have shared her feelings sooner. Both of them speak honestly, and the weight between them starts to lift. Sakura says how lucky he feels to have her by his side. He wants to be strong for her, just like she has always been for him. Mai smiles and gently tells him to close his eyes. He expects a kiss, but instead, she pinches him. The moment stings, but it also makes him laugh. It's her way of showing affection, just a little playful and very real. Sakura takes an important step and introduces Mai to his family. The moment feels like the start of something new. A quiet chapter opens for both of them. Keed begins to change as well. She starts to understand the version of herself that once hid from the world. The fear, the pain, and the quiet loneliness are no longer something she wants to escape from. Instead of avoiding it, she decides to face it. She chooses to return to school, not to prove anything to others, but to prove to herself that she can move forward. She's no longer afraid. Just knowing that her brother is by her side gives her the strength to try. Both Keed and Sakura finally begin to heal. The symptoms of adolescent syndrome, once tied to heartbreak and confusion, start to fade. The people around them also grow, each in their own way. Through pain, support, and love, they all find a little more strength. And that is it for today. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe for more breakdowns of your favorite anime. Got a theory, a favorite moment, or just want to rant about the sexy bunny suit? Drop it below, we read everything. See you in the next one.